Do you know some of the loneliest people in the world are married? Not because they stopped loving each other, but because somewhere along the way, they stopped connecting. They still live in the same house. They still raise the kids together. They still manage life together. But emotionally, something feels missing. And before long, many couples just feel less like partners and a lot more like roommates, managing the same household. And if that's where you and your marriage is right now, you're not alone. So in this video, I'm going to help you understand why this happens in so many marriages and 3 questions that can help you reconnect and start feeling like a team again. So after working with a ton of couples over the years, I've noticed that when a marriage starts to feel more like roommates instead of a partnership, it almost always traces back to 3 important questions that couples haven't stopped to ask. So in this video, we're going to walk through those 3 questions, and they can reveal what's going on beneath the surface of your marriage. So first, we're going to talk about when the drift actually began, because emotional distance rarely shows up overnight. And then second, we'll look at whether you and your spouse feel emotionally safe with each other, or if somewhere along the way, quiet walls started forming. And then third, we're going to talk about something many couples never think about, whether your marriage still has a shared mission or if you've slowly drifted into just managing life together. Because God designed marriage to be more than just 2 people sharing a house. He designed it to be a deep partnership, spiritually and emotionally. And when couples begin to understand these 3 things, they can start reconnecting and begin feeling like a team again instead of just roommates. All right, let me show you something that happens in a lot of marriages. So let's imagine that these 2 dolls represent a husband and wife. Yes, this is Hulk Hogan and this is a Transformer. Hulk's going to be the husband because, well, Hulkamania. So when most couples get married, they're talking, they're laughing, learning about each other. Everything feels exciting because their attention's focused where? On each other. But as life begins to move forward, something subtle starts to change. Instead of being face to face all the time, couples begin to turn shoulder to shoulder. They're working together now, building careers, managing a home, raising kids, paying bills. And that's not a bad thing. In many ways, it's part of building a life together. And every once in a while, the couples will turn back face to face again, maybe on a date night, a vacation, or during a meaningful conversation. This is a healthy marriage. But as responsibilities increase and life gets busier, something else slowly happens. Many couples eventually find themselves back to back. Both people are working hard, they're carrying out responsibilities, both people are trying to keep moving forward, but they're no longer really looking at each other. They're just tackling life. And the difficult part is this: most couples don't even realize when that shift happens. They just wake up one day feeling like roommates instead of partners. And the truth is, God didn't design marriage to be back-to-back survival. He designed it for face-to-face and shoulder-to-shoulder connection. So let me ask you something. When do you think the drift started in your marriage? You don't have to share anything personal if you don't want to, but if this video resonates with you, drop a comment and just type the word drift. Sometimes simply acknowledging it is the first step to changing. So the first question every couple needs to ask is this: when did the drift begin? Most couples can't pinpoint a single moment when connection disappeared. It usually happens slowly. Life gets busy, work increases, kids demand attention, schedules fill up, responsibilities grow, and over time, couples unintentionally stop doing the small things that once kept them connected. They stop talking deeply, they stop praying together, or laughing together, or spending intentional time together. So here's the key insight. Emotional distance in marriage rarely begins with a crisis. It usually doesn't. It usually begins with neglect of small moments of connection. Sometimes couples drift so slowly, they don't even realize it's happening. And honestly, in many marriages, wives tend to notice this before the husbands do. Yeah. Not always, but very often. Many men think things are fine as long as there's no major conflict or drama, and hold, those tights are not fine. But many wives are longing for a deeper emotional connection. So I remember a few years ago, Bonnie looked at me and said something that really woke me up. It kind of hacked me off in the moment, but it was really good. She said, "I feel like you're cheating on me with your job." Now, she didn't mean there was another woman. What she meant was that my attention and my energy and my focus were going somewhere else. That moment for me was a wake-up call. And honestly, it's one I'm so thankful for because it helped me realize that even though I was working hard and I was providing for our family, our connection was starting to drift. And so that leads me to the second question that couples need to ask. Do we feel safe with each other? See, loneliness in marriage, it often comes from emotional self-protection. Many couples still function well as partners in life, right? Back to back. They manage the house, they raise the kids, they handle responsibilities, but somewhere along the way, they stop sharing their inner world with each other. They stop being face to face. They stop talking about fears and dreams and struggles. Instead, conversations become mostly about logistics, schedules, bills, kids. And then over time, these emotional walls begin to form. Couples start asking themselves questions like, can I still share my feelings with my spouse? Will they listen to me without correcting me? Or do they really understand my heart? See, the Bible says in Genesis 2:24 that the two will become one flesh. That kind of connection, that kind of oneness, it includes emotional and spiritual intimacy, not just living under the same roof. When emotional safety disappears, then connection slowly fades. And that leads me to the third question. Are we living on mission together, or are we just managing life? Many Christian couples feel lonely, not because they've stopped loving each other, but because their marriage slowly shifted from mission to maintenance. So instead of building something meaningful together, couples become stuck managing life in the schedules, responsibilities, survival mode. Remember, back to back. And when that happens, marriage starts to feel like two individuals running the same household rather than a team moving in the same direction. But when couples reconnect around a shared purpose, something powerful happens. Conversations deepen, respect begins to grow, attraction often returns because mission fuels connection. See, God designed marriage to be about more than simply surviving life together. It's about serving Him together and building a Christ-centered home that impacts others as a couple. So before we wrap up, let me give you something simple you can try tonight. Ask your spouse these 3 questions. Not to fix anything, not to debate anything, just to understand each other. So first, ask this. Ask, when do you feel most connected to me? Second, ask this one. When do you feel the distance between us the most? And then third, ask this question. What is one small thing we could start doing again that would help us reconnect? And when your spouse answers, don't defend yourself, just listen. Because sometimes the first step back towards connection isn't solving the problem. It's simply understanding each other again. So if you're watching this and you realize that somewhere along the way your marriage started to feel more like roommates than partners, I want you to hear this. Connection can be rebuilt. but it usually doesn't happen by accident. It happens when couples begin moving in the same direction again. When a husband and wife reconnect around a shared purpose, something powerful happens. They stop feeling like two people just managing life, and they start feeling like a team again. And that's exactly why I want to give you a free resource. It's our Marriage on Mission blueprint. So in this blueprint, we walk couples step by step through how to rediscover a shared vision for their marriage, to reconnect spiritually and start moving forward together instead of drifting apart. So if you're ready to take the next step towards rebuilding the connection in your marriage, check out the Marriage on Mission blueprint using the link in the description below. And then if this video helps you see something in your marriage today, type the word team in the comments. Because around here, we believe marriage was never meant to be about survival. It's meant to be an adventure that you guys live together.